добрый вечер. Давайте начнем наш день открытых дверей. So let's start the open day. I would like everyone to see. Всем добрый вечер. Давайте начнем наш день открытых дверей. So let's start the open day. I would like everyone to see. Всем добрый вечер. Давайте начнем наш день открытых дверей. So let's start the open day. I would like everyone to see. Всем добрый вечер. Давайте начнем наш день открытых дверей. So let's start the open day. I would like everyone to see. Всем добрый вечер. Давайте начнем наш день открытых дверей. So let's start the open day. I would like everyone to see. Всем добрый вечер. Давайте начнем наш день открытых дверей. So let's start the open day. I would like everyone to see. Всем добрый вечер. Давайте начнем наш день открытых дверей. So let's start the open day. I would like everyone to see. Всем добрый вечер. Давайте начнем наш день открытых дверей. So let's start the open day. I would like everyone to see. Всем добрый вечер. Давайте начнем наш день открытых дверей. So let's start the open day. I would like everyone to see. Всем добрый вечер. Давайте начнем наш день открытых дверей. So let's start the open day. I would like everyone to see.
I'm connect, for example, the blockchain. People is talking about blockchain, how we can apply to buildings. And no one is doing this, and we want to do here. In the third term, we'll be dealing, well, I can also announce that we are trying also to do other projects here from the lab. Another project we are launching is about the Arctic urbanization, because you know that, yeah, you have the north of Russia is really very long, and then you have in the north of Russia, you have the Arctic, and it seems that the Arctic will be melting during at least 6 months in the year, and there will be many boats passing through there, and there is a process and discussion about what will happen with the north and with the Arctic. And then we are planning to organize a summer trip to Murmansk, yes, and other cities by the end of July. So this will be part of our programs. We are also launching a new competition that will be announced, the subject, in the next weeks. We'll have also in March the award ceremony for the competition we did, City for a Flying Wall. So let's say that there are many activities in the laboratory going on, and yeah, and I can tell you that I am very happy to be here with these very talented people. We have Lena, we have Ivan, and Nadia, and many other people collaborating in the lab. And also the students, as I say, they are coming from different parts of the world, but what I am happy is to see that they are, you know, when I saw their presentation that you will see now, I thought, if you are able to do something, you are able to do anything. So, and if you are able to do something that is beautiful and is smart, and you see, oh, yeah, they did something great, then I am sure that they will be able to do something great again. No? So the question is to put talented people with the right tools and to give, with the right tutors, and to give a lot of freedom to invent. We like to think that we want to create a space for invention, but at the same time to give freedom and to give the opportunity to develop their own projects. So that's all. I am in fact leaving now because we are taking a plane to Bishkek right now in 2 hours and a half. I hope that the traffic in Moscow will be okay, although it's one of the worst in the world. But I hope, if not, I will come back and in 2 hours. But I hope to take the plane. We are doing a project there. So Nadia will be running the show today. Thank you to all of you for coming, and yeah, we hope to come to see you soon again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we would like to continue with the second part of the presentation. Can I have the clicker, please? Thank you very much. And I would like to present the program in a more practical way, and to say exactly how the program is structured, who are the tutors, main tutors of the program, and what will be learned during the program. And as I said before, specific questions about application process you can ask me later if you will be interested. Okay, thank you. So yeah, as you know, we've launched, we've launched this laboratory around a year ago in December 2016. The main goal of that laboratory is to create the place where people, innovators from different fields, specifically from architectural field, design field, engineering field, can meet, can prototype, and can make inventions. And the first year of our laboratory, we were mostly dedicated to the different workshops. Maybe some of you were participating there, to the lectures, to the summer public programs, joint programs with the Institute for Advanced Architecture of Catalonia, or with, for example, Architectural School of London. So actually, this summer we are going to launch the joint summer program as well with YAC. So if you're interested, you can also later ask about it. But the main goal of this space was to launch this master program, and that students can live here. Because the main approach of the master program is learning by doing, meaning that you can come here and you can not just attend lectures or seminars, but you live here, you prototype, you come here on the weekends and the evenings, and all the equipment that you have here This is open to you to prototype and to invent whatever you want, actually connected with the topic of the master program. And as Vicente already mentioned, this is a 2-year master program which consists of 4 semesters. And the idea is that we are going from the first semester, we're actually now here in the first semester, which is dedicated to the scale of the things around you, the things which are connected with your daily activities. And we are investigating this in the means of technology, in the means of city project, and in the means of different other layers. In every semester, the program is developing in 5 main layers. The technology layer, which the main leader of that course is Ivan, he's here. You can also approach him later, where you get all the knowledge about how to create something using digital, digital and prototyping technologies. Then you have the layer, the management layer, which has different subjects. This semester we had the new business model subject. The tutor of this course, Andrei, is there. Can you raise your head, please? Thank you. You can approach him later. So here you learn how you can implement your idea, how you can implement your prototype into the business reality. Then we have the general course layer, culture layer, where you get the overall view about the urbanism, about the readings. This semester we were reading lots, and by the way, tomorrow we have the final presentations of that course, and I'm the tutor of that course connected with readings. Also you have the layer information, which is dedicated to how you can get the information from the city and how you can study the city using different means of informational technologies. For example, this semester the course was recording sociology, and students were learning how to learn city, how to analyze city through the photography, through the video. And by the way, yesterday we've opened an exhibition in the Peresvet Gallery, which is after Zavodska in the south of Moscow. You can visit it. I really encourage you to go there, and you will see the works of our students there connected with that course, which are the results of that course, which is curated by Sofia Gavrilova, who will join us later if she's not here. No? I think no, okay. And the last layer, and one of the most important and the key layers, this is a city project, which actually connects all the layers above the technology, management, culture, and information. And we have the main tutor of that course, Elena, here. She will also make the brief presentation a little bit later. This is the horizontal layers of the master program, but it also has the vertical layers. As Vicente mentioned, on the first semester we are working in every subject with a scale of person and with a scale of the things and objects around us. In the second semester we are working in a bigger scale with buildings and buildings around us and public spaces. And the last practical, let's say, semester, the third semester, is dedicated to the scale of the city, where you already can implement all the knowledge and all the practice you did before, but on an urban scale. And the last semester, this is more connected, dedicated to your final project. So you're having the internship here, you're having different kind of examinations, and most of the time you dedicate to your personal graduation project. And as you see, this is the normal master program, which has in total 120 credits. So this is the official master program of the High School of Economics. By the end of the program, you will have degree of Master in City Planning. In Russian, it's Магистр градостроительства. This is a quite important theme, and I think it's quite interesting because we were trying to understand which real skills, let's say practical skills, you can get during the program in every subject, in every layer, which I just explained, in the layer of technology, of city project management, culture, and information. And there are different kinds of software, of practical skills which you learn during this program and which are interconnected between each other. So we call this a skill tree, and we are now somewhere here in the first semester learning these things. The faculty of the master program, the main faculty, the main tutors are young mostly Russian professionals, but who has been studies abroad in Institute for Advanced Architecture of Catalonia, in Barcelona, in United Kingdom, in the United States, and who are currently working in this project. So they are not just theoreticians who know something about that, but they are people who work in that field. For example, later us will join, I hope, Andrei Karmatsky, who has his own company and who is making projects in big data. And his company is one of the leading companies in this sphere here in Moscow, in Russia. But at the same time, we have the international and external experts who are opened for the students and who will be coming for the specific courses, short-term courses and specific programs during the 2-year of master program. Also, we have Skype lectures with these tutors, and also there can be the personal consultations with these people whom we announce as the external experts. As you know, Vicente Goyart is the key ideologist of that program, and actually he's quite much involved in the program. He's participating in all the exams, final presentations, but also, for example, during the second semester he will be leading this city project course, so he will be very much personally involved in that project. So I will just skip the slides which are describing all the subjects which we covered during the program. You can download that presentation from our website. It's open there. I would like, yes, to stop here, because we are planning that program also includes the trip to Barcelona, the workshop in Barcelona in Valdaura Labs, which is an innovative lab situated in the hills and the mountains of Barcelona. Ivan can, I think, talk long about this later. Yes, and this is a one-week trip, but very intensive trip where you meet with the key professionals in innovative urban tech field. From Barcelona, who were working with Vicente while he was the chief architect of Barcelona, who were implementing the real things there. So you get that experience from the first hands, and you can connect with these people. You can learn from them about the water supply, about the ecological buildings, self-sufficient buildings, transportation, and in general the smart city concept, which is quite tricky, but in Barcelona in some layers of city development was implemented. So we are planning this trip now with our students in April, and I really hope they will enjoy it. So this is in general the master concept. In case you have any specific questions, you can later approach me, and I would like to invite Elena, who will introduce the city project course and the projects of our students.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming to our open day. We're really glad to see you here, a lot of people today. Basically, all the main information was already told here about the city project. I want to again mention that there are 3 scales in our city projects. One is object, the second semester will be buildings, and the last one will be the urban scale. So in this semester there is also another one tutor who is basically the director of the first semester project, Andrei Yelbayev. I think he will join us also later. And students were working with the objects. So why were they working with the objects? First, they wanted to find themselves as a unit in the city. So they've been thinking about their positioning, their life, what is happening during the day, because this is a bottom-up approach, and they wanted to understand what happens with the person in the city. So they've been collecting some data during the day, so it was really scientific. So each of the students took their own theme, and they've been devoting their projects according to this theme. And also I want to mention, when you will look at some of the projects of the students, so you should accept them not as one unit, as one, I don't know, device that you can find in the city, but think of them in a more global scale. So what will happen if there will be a lot of these objects, if they come to the agent systems, or what will happen if, I don't know, a lot of people will have a lot of those devices and there will be opened up a social dialogue or new social relationships. So basically that's it, and I now want to ask our first students to introduce their projects. You ready? So, and yeah, also I want to mention that almost all of the students are architects, and they've met all the technologies for the first time, and they were learning programming from the scratch, and they were learning some technologies and electronics also from the scratch. And this is why they were working with the objects to understand and to implement the technologies, and the prototype is one-to-one scale, basically. Okay.
I would like to present you our Gidrometer project. It focuses on the water smart use, and it is ecological focus, energy efficiency, and like this. So we focus on evaporation condensation phenomenon in domestic scale, but it is more than domestic, it is more global scale, but having the task to work with home, we just to try to reconsider this problem in home, and we try to create something for water smart use system, and we just create something related to water, and then we just focuses on some steps to create some model system producing water from air. It is just a passive system to produce water from air. Our hypothesis is that we can produce water from some material just to provide difference between temperatures of air and temperature of surface itself. Just we divided into four stages. The first one was to create material that produce water in a passive way. The second one is create the shape, special focus related to biomimetic pattern, biomorphic shapes that are able to direct water in specific place, and to create absorbing elements that are able to grow seeds, for example, because it is a suitable scale for domestic. And the last one is the system itself, because it consists of condensation element, absorbent element. It's one wall green system, for example, for bath or for another place in home, in public space, just to use humidity itself for something like this one. It is our inspiration. It is our research based on a pattern of water movement, because we consider it in the surfaces of like a plastic, like a hydrophobic pattern. Then we create the special pattern on 3D printer, because it is able to direct water in different directions. Then we experiment with plastic itself, because this is experiments with form, and we try to direct and just to observe water movement in different patterns. Then we consider the condensation itself. We tested different materials on ability to produce water, because this is like a difference between temperatures, and we prove the more efficient material is ceramic, because in case of its ability to cool quickly, to serve moisture in the structure, and this is a suitable material for forming something like a green wall. It is our first experiments where we prove parameters of our model system. We prove that, for example, 1 milliliters of water required the model like this. And we prove the more efficient size for producing water for growing seeds later. This is our experiments with clay cell because it is very efficient for absorbing water, and we tested different type of clay with different edgings, and then we focus on seeds or plants itself. It is our steps of our research that they see. For example, water movement, then it is a collection in the special element, and our proving of parameters, like optimization of the form, of the size of absorbent element, and you can see that 5 milliliters of water required system of 3 meters in diameter. Then we just do step by step to digital modeling of the system, and then we printed it. And then it is our final experiment in the bus, because it is the more efficient for absorbing, for testing with clay in ceramic itself. We prove that we need, for example, 100 square centimeters for producing water in the bus for during 20 minutes, and we can get 5 milliliters for some growing seeds. It is our calculations, and the system itself, you can see it in the table. It is our research of water consumption in domestic scale for a week. It related to what our water consumption more in the evening, for example, and so our system can be used more efficient way in the evening itself. It's our experiments of the first day in the lab. And it is the 7th day. We can see that we grow seeds for 5 days, and this is working prototype for growing in this scale. But yeah, we just to consider that we can able to use it as a more global scale, for example, in the green wall in facade for urban gardening and like this. Thank you for attention. Video, maybe, okay.
Yes.
Video, just a moment. Like a story of our research.
Okay, guys, who's the next? We're going to have only 4 presentations, the brief presentations, but who came later, on this table in the end of the room later you can learn more about every project, not only the 4 which are presented now, but about all the projects which were produced by our students with some descriptions, with brief videos about every project as well. Okay, then we have now Neeraj Mazumdar, who are coming from India to study with us, and Valeria Miftahova, who is coming from Kazan.
So hello everyone, I am Neeraj and this is my partner Valeria, and we were actually starting a project called Krabby. So we gave the name because of the way it moves now, and it looks exactly like, we describe it like a crab, so we've named it Krabby. And so our project was based on how people carry different things and how actually you carry the weight around the city. So we were starting with an analysis of how different types of people carry the weight and at what levels a person is comfortable to carry what weight with him. So then we came out with an analysis of different age groups and how and what type of bags they carry around with them and what is the estimate of weight that they carry. And then in the process of our development of this project, we were trying to implement the ideas of Chebyshev and artist Theo Jansen, who was actually developing a prototype of a non-living organism that moves by wind, and it can actually imitate the sense of a living organism, but it does not have any self-power. So we were trying to implement that movement into the city scale with a device that can help you carry, that can help a person assist by carrying the weight. So this is how we were developing our first initial ideas, and then we tried to implement the ideas of Theo Jansen into a device that would help you carry weight. So then we had a lot of prototypes, and we were designing the type of thing that would actually help you. And we came out with a first prototype which we thought we would be implementing, but then we found out that it had a lot of drawbacks. You can see in this video, this was the one that we tested during the first time, and this is how it moves. So the problem with this one was that it did not have enough power or enough strength to move around, and also it was not a feasible design because of the leg to body ratio. And so we were constantly trying to develop more prototypes that would actually help us reach our final stage. During the next one, we thought, because of our previous prototype was not that successful, we were trying to implement a combination of wheels along with a hook system, and trying to implement so that it would also be feasible and climbing stairs. But then we realized that our main concept is not to make something which is looking very robotic, or which you can just, and which doesn't have any influence in the city. We wanted to make something which may give an impression that it has a life and it walks around in the city. So we moved back to our concept of the legs, and we were testing many different methods of how we can use this process of like natural human, like animal-like movement. And then we were developing many other, we moved to our next step of another prototype that you can see here, and we were successfully able to manage this movement and also giving it a robust form. So right now in this one, we were able to manage the movement, but it was still, it's not possible for us to carry something with a wire and move around. So the next step for us was how we can make it independent from a person who is moving around with it. And that's when we started to use technology. And this is our next one, when we tried to make it function using a remote. And you can see we were successful, but still it was not able to carry enough weight, or it did not have enough power with itself. So then we were again thinking what was the main problem with this, and we found out that it had a lot of friction with itself, and it was not able to do the task that it wanted. So we did many changes on how to reduce the friction, how to improve the power capacity of this, and then on our 8th model, we were trying to implement it on the city scale, so that people, it might be like a big size where people can carry their bags and walk around. But then again we had another issue, was that if the size was very big, it would not be feasible for a person to carry around with himself. So then we moved back to our previous scale, and we were trying to develop this model that was foldable, and that a person would be easily carrying around in his bag, in his backpack, and be roaming around the city, and they can use it when they want. So this is the final system that we designed, and we arranged these parts and the gear systems for this, and then we achieved our final prototype. And then I think you can see the video for this. Yeah, this is actually the final one which we completed, and this is how it folds. And it's actually, it fits in a backpack, and you can carry it around with you. And it's also strong enough to carry some weight with itself. So we will just demonstrate it with a small video. So this video was made after our first test, and right now it's not that what we have still imagined, but maybe in the future devices like this can assist people in doing small tasks like this, but maybe not individually or in the streets, but we are thinking of providing it a control in a network of controlled environment. For example, you have your shopping malls, or you can use it as a guiding system for airports where you have a controlled environment, and many devices like this interlink with each other in a network and provide assistance for people, or help in case of supermarkets. Instead of using the trolleys, you can have a network of these things which can be integrated into the small environment. So yes, this is our project. And thank you so much for paying attention.
Hope you enjoyed the video, because it was filmed in extreme weather conditions, and even in extreme weather conditions it worked, so it was really great. Who's the next, guys? I don't see. Okay, Camila. So now we are going to have the project which is dedicated to the smells and how we can reproduce smells using digital technologies. We have two amazing guys from Kyrgyzstan, from Bishkek, Camila and Bek, who is going to present that project to you now. Guys, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Camila, and our project is named as a smell. So the main idea was to think our project was focused as a smell, as a mood generator. And like every smell has any association in your mind, which connect with some memory, and you can share it with someone, with like sharing the smell. I don't know, like, and yes, but. So the aim of the project was to create a portable device which is really comfortable and which can generate smell and different smells, and you can share it with someone. Yes. So it is our first prototype, really like handmade prototype with Coca-Cola bank. So we tried a lot of variants how to generate the smell. Really, we thought about mechanical ways to generate smell, more chemical variants to generate smell, and we stopped it on this variant, like where in the middle are heating element. This nichrome wire with cotton inside, in which we placed, this is cotton. Okay, something. Now the main element, it is a smell. We tried a lot of variants, like what's gonna be inside, and we decided it will be essential oil, mix it with glycerin, and now we can see how it will work. And it really works. And now we have these little elements. It's really our draft first prototype. We decided to move further. And yes, we explore different variants of essential oils, how we can mix it, and how we can connect it with our moods. Like here we can see, it is actually our final prototype with these capsules, which can easily removable. We easily can change them, and there are different different colors which are connected with different moods. Here we started with first prototype. We had this really big capsule. It is the first capsule, and we needed to do it more small, more comfortable. And we started research. It is more chemical variant of how we can generate the smell. It is really a rough plywood box, which inside this fan, this heating element, and this capsule, changeable capsule with cotton. There are more mechanical variants with relay module, heating elements, fan, and cotton capsule. Also, we discovered really interesting ways how we can perform it, and there we can see desktop versions of smell generators. So it is our second prototype, really small box, which can do the same function as first prototype. And we started to do programming, how to connect our device with our mobile phones, with our computers, how we can control which smell I want to produce. It is our third prototype, really 3D printed model. Already had these capsules, and but it has really big form. But it worked. So there our final prototype. After a lot of researching, we find this ideal form, ideal shape. Yes. The capsules is really removable, changeable easily, and also we added some LED lights here, so people around you can understand which smell is generating right now. And also they're like pretty beautiful box with smells. So it is a methodology of form, and it's electronic stuff here inside. Electronic wiring. So, and I would like to show you a video. Story of developing our project. So we can see our beautiful logotype with S letter. Our logo motto: to recreate the world around you. Up. Oh, cool. different smells for different situations. Here, office situation. So, it is. Thank you very much for your attention. Yes.
Okay, good. And we have the last student presentations for today by two brilliant girls, the Altenay, who's coming from Bishkek as well, and Daria, who's coming from Kazan, from Tatarstan. And the project is dedicated to the topic of hugs and how you can reproduce hugs in a distance using modern technologies. As you see, the projects are very different, and actually the topic of the project was chosen by the students themselves. So we're not limited them with the topics. So in case you will be applying to the master program, you can come with your own idea and with your own topic and try to implement it here using our technologies.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for coming on a Valentine's Day. So today we wanted to share with you our love that we've been creating for 4 months. So our project called Flare, but what is a flare? As you can see, hold on, from the logo, it's related to hugs. So Flare is an outerwear that sort of mimics the experience of being immersed by the loved ones which you send on a distance. So sorry. All right. It's actually an outerwear that has inflatable pouches, and it's activated by the air when it receives a message from the outside. Right?
Okay. We decided to address to this issue because we do understand long-distance relationships. And we decided that distance hugs will help us to communicate with our parents, friends, even lovers. And plus, we found several studies that prove health benefit of hugs, that it can improve your mood or even physical or psychological condition.
This is research that we've done to analyze the body and to map the map of the hugs, yes. Our fellow friends help us with this. We've been recording different hug patterns, and later you will see accumulated map, which I'm going to show in a while. All right, so as you can see, this is the accumulated areas that have been gathered from the videos. This is for female and this is for male. Basically, they're not that much different. It's just the manner of hugging probably for guys is more spread. So here's findings that it's sort of spot areas, which we found out that a lot of hugs, they related to the shoulder area and as well as your ribs. So that's how we started our prototyping. We chose to work with plastic because it's a very cheap material to prototype with. And instead of doing a manual sealing, which we tried first, we used soldering iron and iron. And yeah, we managed to hack the CNC laser cut, which actually cuts, into making it as a sealing machine for our plastic. Say something?
Here you can see our first steps of prototyping. There are our simple patterns that we were creating for understanding how it works, how it moves, and some different patterns with self-folding shapes, any kind of layers shapes, and others. Just bionicle shapes. And here was the big step when we decided to move to the bigger scale, and we made some big arms And on the third picture, you can see our previous prototype that was working as a big stationary hugger machine that react on your yes. So after that, we decided that it can be not only a hugging stationary machine, but it can be something that you can wear, and we moved to wearable jacket. Here you can see that we were looking for different kinds of patterns that can work in different ways, just according to different points, hugging points. And here you can see reactions of
yeah, that's different participants of our testing experience. So yeah, we had several people trying out our hugging shirt. Yeah, as you can see, they are very happy. So yeah, now we wanted to present our fabrication video. I hope you enjoy the presentation. Thank you.
So yeah, girls have been progressing a lot with this project because as we discussed on Monday when we had the final presentations of the projects, 3 weeks ago they have this hugging machine prototype which was hardly working, and only during 2-3 weeks they made this progress to the wearable jackets. And as already Elena had mentioned and Vicente before, the students came without any knowledge of actually programming or electronics or prototyping almost, and that prototypes was done only during 4 months with almost from zero, and we were really wanted to give to them the freedom to implement the project they wanted and to test technologies, how it works, how it can be implemented. And now we are moving to the different level, to the level of buildings and urban environments in the future. So that's why I would like to introduce and to invite the tutor of the second semester who will be teaching the course on the level of the city, Andrei. Andrei, are you here? Can you join us, please? Thank you. So Andrei will be introducing the course Big Data, because now we are moving to this another scale, and yeah, he will say some words about this.
Hey, I have a surprise. I don't have slides for today. Yes, but you know, the urban big data, let's say, no big. This is really crappy word because there are a lot of marketing bullshit with the smart cities, big data, blah, 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 blockchain, but nobody care about that. And nobody, it's, you know, it's about, this is very obvious and very common meme about the teenager sex. Everybody talks about it, but nobody does. And yes, it's really similar. And I asked it because I was when I accepted this program a year and a half. And by the way, this is not stand up. When I accepted, I was really excited with the smart cities concept and the big data and some things with the numbers. Ones and zeros and computing and so on. And I was so excited. I thought I achieved this time. I achieved the neural networks, machine learning, and some kind of stuff, and will teach people about that. But you know, right now I'm just running a small company in Moscow. We are called Turbica, and we're doing some stuff with the data. But there is not so exciting words with the big data, blockchain, or some kind of the marketing words or conferences. Of course, I have a lot of slides of the data visualization. I could show you a lot of beauty maps and to say something silly about the Martians, because you will be sticky on the slides when I will show you some kind of maps, because it's really impressive, very bright, and there are a lot of things I can say. But the reality for today, for 2018, it's really tough to make. You know, machine learning, neural networks you can achieve and you can learn on the Coursera, a lot of online resources, you can practice exercises. But the reality with working with the data is a good question, how to make the data is really applicable for the projects and to reflect some real issues on that. And nobody tells you in the books how to, for example, how to run new buses on streets, how to manage the bike sharing system, and how to improve the quality and to reduce the costs of that using the data. There is a very long way from the raw data you can receive from the sensors to some kind of the intelligence. I mean, to support some kind of the decisions. I mean, how to make cities a better place to live. And that's why I think would be helpful for this course. And I'm going to talk with some kind of our experience working with the data, because this work is not so exciting on the presentations. This is a lot of pain, but I tend to say this is just we're achieving the experience, because I'm really very similar to the students, and I was impressed for this smart quantity of time you produced. Very beautiful, very awesome projects, and I'm right now I'm on learning curve. And everybody here on learning curve right now with the data. And I'm feeling a bit strange to be a professor of the big data or some kind of stuff. But, you know, this is really interesting, and I think a lot of interesting things could be in future, because work with the data and just keep experimenting with that and prototyping 1, 2, second, third prototypes, and achieving the real feedback from the real users of this data, we can learn it. And what we're gonna do starting next week, yes, and we're gonna talk with the data. And of course, I give you some practical examples, so how to visualize data, how to, I don't know, get data, validate or collect. But the matter is how to make data really helpful, because we can have small data, big data, no data. All cases is relevant because you just have to reflect some issue and to solve some problems or to answer some questions. And I think, I don't know, the working with the data is just one of the possible ways to answer some questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And in a parallel of this course, which will be starting the next week, we are going to have the course Legal Regulations, where students will learn how actually this data can be implemented in the real environments and according to the requirements, to the laws which we have, the real laws, because we can prototype whenever we want, but if drones are forbidden, we cannot use in the city. And we, as a future managers of the city, of the future city planners, we should understand how to create the laws and how to even push our decisions forward. And actually this course, I'm sure, will be very helpful. In the parallel, there will be city project course, technology course, and the history of urbanism course, which we'll be developing during next 5 months. And I think we will invite all of you in June or July to the final presentations of the projects of the first year. So you are more than welcome. And we're almost finished, because there should be Sofia Gavrilova coming, but she's sick after yesterday very brave start of exhibition in Peresvetov Gallery. And I wanted just to sum up what we've just said, and to invite all of you as well to participate. Oops, I'm sorry. To participate in the competition, which will be launched in March, and it will be open online competition. So join our Facebook, because we announce all the news there, all the announcement competitions. Our Instagram, where you can also get the latest information about everything. It's very easy. It's called Shukhov Lab, so you can find all the info here. So please contact me in case you have more questions. And so we would like to invite you for the, because we have some celebrations here, maybe not Russian, but we have some wines for you. And so you're more than welcome here anytime, and approach me, our tutors. Thank you for your attention and being here in this evening.
What I'm trying to say is that I love the way that you love me. Guess I'm trying to say that I love the way that you love me. What I'm trying to say is that I love the way that you love me. Guess I'm trying to say that I love the way that you love me. What I'm trying to say is that I love the way that you love me. thoughts about the people who walk past the window, coming home. Yo, if I'm jealous of the roses that grow in the garden of the house where nobody lives. Yo, even say that there's a cold place, I'm feeling happy. Yo, speaking love is a symptom of conformity. You make a box out of people who walk past your window. You're even jealous of the roses that grow in the garden of the house where nobody lives. You even say that there's a cold place. Oh, feeling happy. You speak of love as a symptom of comforting. Sure that in our hearts again. alone.